In this video, I will show you how the hash algorithm works. First of all, let us see what is the hash function. Hash function is any function that can be used to map data of arbitrary size to the fixed size value. Here the hash function h takes the input x of arbitrary size and generates the output y of fixed length. The value returned by the hash function are called hash values, hash codes, digests, or simply hashes. Let us look at the properties of the hash function. The first property is that it is deterministic, meaning that the same message always results in the same hash. The second property is that it is irreversible. Given a hash value h, it should be difficult to find any message x such that h is equal to hash of x. This concept is related to a one-way function. The third property is that given an input x1, it should be difficult to find a different input x2 such that hash of x1 is equal to hash of x2. Collision occurs when the two different inputs have the same hash values. These are the different types of hash generators with different algorithms and different digest lengths. This table shows the size of the digest for different hash algorithms, message block size, and the presence of collision. Here we specifically discuss the algorithm of SHA-1. SHA-1 takes an arbitrary size input and produces 160-bit hash values known as a message digest, typically rendered as a hexadecimal number 40 digits long. Let us look at the algorithm along with an example. Assume the input to the hash function is abc123 underscore double hash. First step is to convert the input in an array of ASCII values of the characters. Second step is converting ASCII value to the binary form with total 8 bits each. Prepend 0 if it is not 8 bits long. So now the length of the message bit array is 72. In third step, append 1 at the end of the message bit array. In the fourth step, we append zeros at the end of the message bits array until the length of the message bit array modular 512 is 448. So the new length of the message bits would be in the form of 512 in times k plus 448. In the fifth step, we make a new array ML. It contains the length of the message bit array in the step 2, that is 72, in the binary form. Then prepend zeros in the ML array until the length of the ML modular 64 is equal to 0. Thus ML array is of 64 bits long. In the sixth step, we append ML array at the end of the message bits array. Because of this, the length of the message bits array is now in the multiple of 512. Now the main part of the algorithm begins. In the seventh step, we initialize variables capital A, B, C, D and E, which is in the hexadecimal form as shown. Converting them in the binary form, that is 4 bits for each digit, the size of the capital A, B, C, D and E becomes 32 each. Now in the 8th step, we divide message bits into the chunk of 512 bits, and for each chunk, we repeat steps A, B, C and D. In step A, we initialize small variables A, B, C, D, E with the capital variables which are 32 bits long. In step B, we break each chunk into the 16 words of 32 bits and then extend 16 words of 32 bits into 80 words of 32 bits by the specific method, which is the Zoring operation of 4 words, and then left rotate it by 1. This image shows the procedure of step C. Here note that the capital variables A, B, C, D and E are actually the small variables. Then yellow box with the 3 left arrow is the left rotate operation. Capital F in the green box is the result of the specific bitwise operations between B, C and D. WT is one of the 80 words which we have prepared in the step B. KT is the 32-bit constant. 4 red box shows the modulus of the result with 2 power 32, which means if the addition exceeds 32 bits, then we only consider the last 32 bits and ignore the most significant bits other than 32 bits. Step C is the loop running from 1 to 80. The first thing in this loop is to generate capital F and constant K. The method to obtain F and K is different in the 4 sections, that is from 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60 and 61 to 80. At the end of each iteration, we modify the value of small variables as this. After the 80 iterations, add these small variables to the capital variables and repeat the 8th step for the next chunk. Here in the step D also, we consider only the last 32 bits. In the 9th step, we merge the capital variables a, b, c, d and e in a single array, thus we obtain 160-bit hash value. Converting this array in hexadecimal form, we get 40-digit long digest. SHA-1 has been deployed as an important component in the various cryptographic scheme and protocols such as user authentication, key agreement, and pseudo-random number generations. Since its publication, SHA-1 has been adopted by many government and industry security standards, in particular standards on the digital signatures for which a collision-resistant hash function is required. The SHA-1 hashing function was theoretically broken in 2005, however, the first successful collision attack in the real world was carried out in 2017. As of 2020, the attacks against SHA-1 are as practical as against MD5. As such, it is recommended to remove SHA-1 from products as soon as possible and use instead SHA-256 or SHA-3. Replacing SHA-1 is urgent where it is used for signatures.